Breaking the myth of popularity. I remember growing up thinking that popularity was everything. We all did, right? That constant pressure to have hundreds of friends, to be invited to every gathering. But now, looking back at life with all its relationship betrayals and trust issues I've witnessed, I'm starting to question this idea. Maybe, just maybe, true strength and confidence come not from being surrounded by crowds, but from embracing solitude and carefully choosing who we let into our lives. The illusion of social approval. God, we've all been there. You walk into a packed room with people laughing and smiling, everyone seemingly connected. But I've learned something after years of observing these dynamics. Beneath the surface, how many of these people actually feel confident and free? Modern relationships often morph into a desperate race for approval, don't they? People spend ridiculous amount of time crafting these perfect images online just to get a handful of likes. And for what? I've seen this lead to nothing but emptiness. The harsh reality I've discovered is that the more you depend on others' validation, the weaker your foundation becomes. This is especially true as we age. The wisdom that comes with years helps us see through this facade. True strength comes from within. I met this incredible 78-year-old man last year who lives mostly alone. He sits in his garden every morning, radiating this remarkable confidence that has nothing to do with wealth, status, or social connections. His strength? The ability to be completely content in his own company. Through conversations with him, I learned that true confidence isn't built on external approval, but on understanding your own worth. Being alone and experiencing solitude aren't the same thing. That's a crucial distinction I've come to appreciate with age. Solitude means creating space for reflection, growth, and self-awareness. Quality over quantity. Society pushes this narrative that popularity equals success, but how many of us actually stop to question this? What's better, having 200 acquaintances who'd scroll past your struggles, or 2 trustworthy friends who drop everything during your emotional manipulation crisis? I've personally experienced the difference between deep, genuine connections and superficial social activity. Real friends, and I mean the kind Anthony Hopkins talks about in his motivational speeches, don't need constant proof of your worth. They don't judge you by status or external achievements. They just know you. These relationships provide actual support, not fleeting approval, which becomes increasingly important for our well-being after 70. How to resist societal pressure. Look, society keeps shouting at us, be visible, be sociable, be popular. But what if that path just isn't for you? Through my research on self-respect and personal growth, I've found 3 ways you can resist this pressure and stay authentic. First, self-reflection. Take a weekend to honestly assess what you want from life, not what Instagram tells you to want. Define your actual values and goals. Second, boundaries. Learn to say hell no to people and situations that drain your energy. I've interviewed dozens of seniors about toxic relationships, and they all wish they'd established firmer boundaries earlier. Third, focus inward. I've noticed in my own life that the less I worry about others' opinions, the more freedom I gain. A person who can stand alone doesn't need masks or validation. They move through life with awareness of their inner strength. True confidence is the ability to be yourself. Life after 70, or honestly at any age, isn't about chasing some imaginary standard of social success. The happiness I've observed in elders who mastered the art of aging gracefully comes from recognizing their own worth, not from their contact list size. So I'll ask you this. What will you choose? The exhausting race for external approval, or the path toward genuine inner strength? How to maintain inner peace in later years? Never allow yourself to be a victim. Don't explain. Don't justify. That quote from Anthony Hopkins hit me like a truck during a particularly difficult period in my life. Inner peace isn't something that magically appears from outside. It's a mindset developed over time. I've spoken with many older individuals who experience anxiety about their future, health concerns, loneliness, or strained family relationships. But as one 83-year-old woman told me while sipping her tea, worry never made my life one bit better. What actually matters based on my conversations with those who've mastered psychological tricks for emotional healing? Control over your thoughts. Your mental focus determines your state of mind. I've practiced concentrating on what I can control, not what's beyond my reach. Mindfulness. Living in the present moment helps avoid anxiety about tomorrow and regrets about yesterday. Simple breathing exercises have become powerful tools in my daily routine for achieving peace. Physical and emotional health. Movement, healthy sleep patterns, and avoiding negativity directly impact your inner balance and longevity. Why it's important to let go of the past and not regret. Just let things happen. Don't cling. Don't control. Let life unfold. Another gem from Hopkins that changed my perspective on life reassessment. Time moves in one direction only. The more you dwell in the past, the less opportunity you have to enjoy the present moment. Looking back, I used to obsess over missed chances, poor decisions, and countless mistakes. Then I realized one fundamental truth. The past only exists in my thoughts. How I personally stop regretting. Acceptance. Everything that happened shaped me into who I am today. Instead of regretting my past, I now use it as a source of wisdom. Forgiveness. Holding grudges only destroyed my own peace. I had to let go of those who hurt me and, hardest of all, forgive myself for my own mistakes. Shifting focus. Each morning gives us an opportunity to change our trajectory. Start small. Find something that brings you joy and focus there. For me, it was morning walks and watching birds. Simple but profoundly healing. The art of enjoying the moment and slowing down life. Live your life. Be free. Listen to your heart. Do what you want. Enjoy life. When Hopkins said this in an interview about his age and perspective, it resonated deeply with my own journey toward optimism. In our modern world, we're constantly rushing, even in our later years. We fear missing something important, but in doing so, we lose the most precious thing, life itself. How I learned to slow down and savor each moment. Stop and truly look around. Last week, I actually sat and watched an entire sunset without checking my phone. When was the last time you felt a fresh breeze on your face without thinking about your to-do list? Stop putting joy on pause. I used to tell myself, when I retire, then I'll start enjoying life. What nonsense. Happiness isn't some future achievement. It's available right now if we choose to see it. Simple pleasures have the most value. A good book, warm tea, a quiet walk, meaningful conversation with a friend. These moments contain more motivation and fulfillment than any expensive purchase. When you finally learn to slow down, you begin to notice beauty in ordinary moments. And that, my friends, is the true secret to a happy life that no self-improvement book can teach you.